Hi. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are you tonight? The number that I'm seeing here is very, very small, but we shall overcome. How I wish you would get to your various groups. How I wish you would get to your various groups, and then you get to call your colleagues. Tell your colleagues that we are here live. We are here live and would really love to have them, you know. If they get to join us, it'll be wonderful. Shall be wonderful if they can get to join us. They get to join us, it will be wonderful. Yeah, I can now see the numbers going up pretty fast. Now we are at 29. 29, you're supposed to be, you know, RCM is a college which supports over 2,000 students. So when I call for a meeting like this, which is impromptu, I should not get less than 200. At least 10% of the population, I should be able to get them. And I can get these guys, these majors, through your help. I can only get them through your help. If you get to talk to them, I'm so sure they'll come here running. We're going to talk about three key things. We're going to talk about three key things. Of course, some of you have never seen this Mwalimu before. I'm basically the vision bearer at RCM. Vision bearer at RCM, and I would want to share my vision with you. Now, as I'm trying to model accountants at RCM, where am I taking you guys? What am I able to see out of you as we move forward? The accountant that I'm modeling at RCM here today will be an accountant. Some of them, of course, have been able to acquire these skills, but most of you are yet to acquire them. And by the way, are you able to hear me? Are you able to hear Mwalimu very well? Are you able to hear Mwalimu very well? Yeah, great. So the accountant that I'm looking at, ladies and gentlemen, that I'm trying to shape up today, of course, with my colleagues in the teaching fraternity at RCM, should be able, number one, to be very good in data analytics. There is no way you'll get outside there as my student or a student of RCM, and then you tell us that, you know what, that I'm just a CPA. No, you must be a very strong data analyst. And this data analysis or analytics that I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen, here, analytics that I'm talking about here, is way beyond what KASNEB calls BBA. Ours is way beyond. I would want students who will be able to crush numbers outside there using Excel very well, using those Excel shortcuts, the pivot tables. We have in this case here the VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, we have XLOOKUP, we have index and match. A student will be able to crush numbers, develop schedules, develop tables using these Excel shortcuts. That's number one. From there, we go a step higher and, of course, do the visualizations, the visual presentations. How do we present that data now in the form of graphs? Because, ladies and gentlemen, I would want to produce accountants who are storytellers, who can use numbers to tell stories. We need somebody, ladies and gentlemen, who will be able to come and walk like this into an audience, discussing earnings per share, and most probably the earnings per share for this year or the dividends per share for this year happens to be smaller than they were last year. But somebody, because of great visualizations, great visuals, somebody should be able to walk and tell people that, you know what, you guys, this year we are not doing very well. This year we are a dwarf. You've been able to draw your graphs very well, dwarf, as compared to what you took last year. And then be able to justify. Tell people that, you know, this year, for example, we have got this El Nino, which really affected us. But of course, if you give us time, come next year, we can assure you the giant you're seeing there in form of that graph, in form of that bar, we shall even double it come next year. So give us a chance. Don't sack us, because, you know, in most cases, shareholders, when they see things are not working very well and you're not able to explain very well, ladies and gentlemen, what happens is that you will be thrown, all of you, out of management. And in most cases, if you get accountants who are not good in storytelling, using their numbers here to tell stories about the performance of the company, you always get management changing quite often. So that's number one. I would want students in this case here will be very good data and analytics. Data analytics. So you must be very good in Excel, you must be very good in Power BI, you must be very good in R, you must be very good in Python, which basically will help you to automate repetitive tasks. It's a programming language. You may fear that how can an accountant no, Python is a simple language. They use, in this case here, mostly English. All right. The coding there is not as tough as, for example, under MySQL. All right. All right. And again, if I knew these things and I'm the one who is mentoring you guys, you should be able to know more than what I know, actually double of what I know. Double of what I know. I don't know whether there are any questions so far. I can see we have 40. 40 is still a small number. It means that I should be able to reserve whatever I have to tell you guys. I'll be able to reserve, because you guys are not also going out of your way to call your friends. Or is it that it is too late? Is it too late now? Most probably would have wanted this kind of a session to come in at 8 p.m. Is it too late? Is it too late now? Is it too late? Be very honest with me. Is it too late? Is it too late? Is it too late now? Oh, it is too late. Somebody is telling me that it is too late. Accountants will sleep very early. Accountants will sleep very early. Oh, okay. Accountants will sleep very early. Others haven't spoken yet. But I also believe it is too late. Yeah, usingizi can be a factor. Can be a factor. So then we have said there's something to do with data analytics, ladies and gentlemen. We shall be very good. And Excel, remember, Excel is the mother of all. There is no way you'll tell me that, Mwalimu, I'm very good in SAP, I don't need Excel. That's why if you go to SAP today, you will see an icon up there. They have an icon which will allow you to export data from SAP, which will enable you export data from Sage, which will enable you export data from QuickBooks to Excel, because they know that Excel is the mother of all this. It's a great analytical tool. So we must be very good with what we call, ladies and gentlemen, data analytics. That's number one. And I would want really to have like what we call a continuous professional development program at RCM, where you should be able to study like now this Excel throughout the semester. I know you guys are busy with so many things, but I would want, in this case here, all of us to be in that model where we should be able to learn, even if it's just one functionality a week. We have to be there. And we are charging very reasonable rates to RCM students. RCM students, of course, in terms of Excel, we charge you guys $18.50. $18.50, and then you stay with us in this paid up group of Excel students throughout. So then we keep on moving like that. And of course, when we go to Power BI, I'll be able to teach you Power BI for free. But now all the other systems like R, like Python, when we reach there, I'll be able to charge you. Let's move with this thing together, ladies and gentlemen. Then I would also want to talk about progression. After your CPA, what else will you do? After your CPA, what next should you do? Should you get to KCA here and, for example, do like, you'll be given like 17 exemptions, you do a few papers and get your degree, or should you think international? Should you think international and do courses like ACCA, Association of Chartered Certified Accountants, or, for example, CIMA, Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, or, for example, the Chartered Tax Advisors? So should we think locally here or should we think internationally? So I'll be able to guide you. So now I would want to test you guys a little bit before I move on. I would want to test you a little bit in terms of data analytics. I would want to see if, for example, you are given this kind of data. Too late Friday. Oh, this Becky lady is the one who knows. This lady Becky is the one who knows. Kwamba kuna wasabato na kuna wale ambao wameenda sabato baya ya Friday, wameenda kunywa kitu fulani, kitu mbaya, but we shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. So I would want to test you, my students, with this something small, just to show you tonight. And I can see, I can see we are so many, because now we are 50 something, which is very good. Now, just something small. You've gone in this case here to work, my good students, and then you get a situation where, I hope the students who are doing Excel with me, they have this table. This table was shared in the group with this guy called Paul. If Paul is here, I can see he's around here. Paul, again, please, if you don't mind, reshare this table in that group. So assuming you have gone, ladies and gentlemen, to an interview, and this happens every time. So in this interview, you can see, for example, we have January sales. We have January sales again. We have February. So you go to an interview and then somebody tells you, hey, we just want you to account for February sales. So they've given you this in Excel. So you'll come and say, in this case here equals, you say in this case here sum, because you don't know Excel at first. So you want to sum. And then you'll come now and pick one number at a time, the February, because they only want February. You pick one number at a time. So you come and start picking from here all the way to 13, where February is ending. You can see that's where February is ending, and then you'll be able to enter. So in this case, you can now laugh loudly and tell these guys that the sales for February was 4,103. Two things, please don't laugh too much, because here we are lucky because you can see February, all of them are arranged very well. What if in this case here, this February one was here, another one was even before January, another one coming after even December. What if the Februaries, I mean, they are not very well arranged? Or what if, for example, they were arranged like that, but they were going spanning across, say, 100 rows? You can't do it this way. And that is why Excel, they brought what we call some ifs. This is what I taught today. Some ifs. Some ifs. So in this case here, we have what we call some ifs function. Some ifs function. So under some ifs function, ladies and gentlemen, you will come under some IFS, some ifs. It's a conditional summing tool. A tool that you shall use in this case here to sum data whenever you have conditionalities. So in this case here, whenever you have criteria or conditions. So in this case, I'll come and bring it up. And once I bring it up, these guys have given me what to follow here. Number one, they want me to give them the sum range. So, hey, Ninja, where is the sum range? I would want to sum, in this case here, sales revenue. So I'll come and hit this, because I'm now hitting that column for sales revenue, the one that I would want to sum. And then, of course, it is telling me, hey, you Ninja, use comma there. Use a comma there. So that's sum range, comma. Now you can see they have taken me to the criteria range. You see, the condition here for the first one is February. But as soon as they tell me February range, then I should be able to go to that column that has got February in it, because range means highest to, or rather smallest to highest. Range means many, many. So like in this case here, where do we get this February range? The February range is in this table. It is under months. Under months. So to come and, ladies and gentlemen, pick column A for the range, February range. And then you should come here and say comma. After you say comma, ladies and gentlemen, you will now come and give us the last thing you can see, it's criteria. Criteria is the condition. So finally, I've given us a range, but where are you zeroing in? I'm now zeroing in February. I'm zeroing in this February. I'm zeroing in this February. I don't know why it's I think it's because of how this laptop is not very well balanced. All right. Let me just get back here and redo it. I hope this time around it will be able to pick pretty first. Okay. Okay. So equals, allow me to repeat this again for, of course, it will be better for everybody. So we have here some ifs. So some ifs is the criteria that I'm using here. Some ifs is the criteria that I'm using here. So this is my some ifs. This thing is misbehaving. Let me sit down. Let me sit down for me to be able to handle it very well. No problem. All right. It should be balanced very well. Like now it is balanced very well. All right. All right. So in this case here equals, so it is some ifs. It is some ifs. All right. So I have the tab there. So the sum range is this sales revenue. So I'll be able to click this sales revenue. And of course, I'm being told here to take a comma. After sum range, the next one is criteria range. So which criteria really? This is February, remember. But remember, the first thing they want me to give them is criteria range. So range is that capsule. Where do we find February in? February is among these months here. So come and take the whole column there. So once you take the whole column there, say comma. From there, ladies and gentlemen, they want me to come and now pick the criteria itself, the condition itself, which is February now here. So you click on February. I don't know why it is going to the second one. This is mysterious. I've never seen this. I want it to come here. Now, what we shall do, we shall have like this ninja called Paul. Yeah, I've just used these navigation keys. It has accepted them. So that's okay, but it's quite strange. Quite strange. Perhaps I've used this laptop for long today, but this is very strange, but we shall overcome. So then I should be able to come here and close the bracket, and I should be able to do what here to enter. So when I enter like that, I'm getting 41.0 what here, 41.03. So allow me to do this second one. Allow me to do this second one. So the second one, what do we have, ladies and gentlemen? If you allow me to do this second one, this is what we have here. This is what we have. I'll come and say equals here. I will come and say equals. We shall overcome. So I'll come here and say equals here. Paul, are you able to share your screen? Paul, are you able to share your screen? This machine of mine will want to be shut down and then we start, but Paul, don't worry, don't worry. Is Paul around? Is Paul able to share his screen? Or any other student who has done this with me this evening? We did it this evening. As I get a way of shutting down my machine, I start it. Great, thanks Ngari. So Ngari, please share now your screen. Share your Excel, great. So let's start with this February. We start with the February alone. Let's do the first one, the first one up there. So say equals there, say equals there. So equals, of course we want some ifs because we have got many conditions here. So some ifs. So once you pick some ifs, ladies and gentlemen, so click there. So next thing you can see where he's putting his cursor, you want the sum range. So what is it that you would want to sum? We want sales revenue. So you go to column D, put your cursor down there. So in this case, you should be able to highlight, click that one. The next thing after sum range, they are telling you to put a comma. You know, you're following that thing down there. So put comma, put a comma. Put a comma there. After you put a comma, it's criteria range. Remember, your condition is February. Your only condition is February, but its range is where February is found. So you can go to months A, column A. So column A, what are you able to see under column A? What are you able to see under column A? So column A, we have all the months, ladies and gentlemen, there. So once he has been able to click there, now, comma, comma. After comma, now you should be able to come and pick the one condition, which is the criteria one, which is February now. February like that. You can see now his machine is very good. So now you need to close brackets there. Enter. Ladies and gentlemen, one day you'll go to an interview and you will really be embarrassed if you don't understand this. Let's do the second one. Let's do the second one, Gary. The second one now, how many conditions do we have? We have two conditions there. We have February and the chart white. So first of all, we tackle this condition called February. So we start with the range, or rather first sum range. Pick the sum range. Sum range is common for both. Thank you very much, comma. After comma now, the next thing there is criteria range one. So remember the first criteria is called February. So where is the February range? You can't pick that one alone. February range, pick the month, yes. Pick the month, yes. All the months, comma. After February range, now you pick February itself. Now February alone, the condition. You can see number one, it's criteria range, and then criteria, which is February. Thank you very much, comma. And now we happen to be having two conditions. The next condition is known as chart white. So now we are on criteria range 2. Thank you very much for showing them. So chart white range. Where do we find chart white range? Where do we find chart white range? It is there. So you click from B, from the top. Thank you. And then you say, comma. And then our criteria, which is chart white alone now. And then you enter. So you'll be able to get sales, which belongs to February, which comes out of our chart white. Chart white. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the third condition is now is yours for you to practice. But if you don't mind, again, CPA Ngari, I mean, you can just go ahead and do for them. Remember now you have got 3 criteria. I've always gotten students who mess up in interviews. You start with some ifs. You must start with some ifs. I've always gotten students who mess up in interviews, ladies and gentlemen, simply because they don't want to invest in Excel. Like CFO, you can't become a CFO if you don't know Excel. So some ifs. So we start with the first one, which is sum range. That's normally constant. Comma. And then, ladies and gentlemen, you can see now we have got 3 criteria. The first one is February criteria. So February criteria, what do we have there? Great. Then we go to the chart white. So you start with chart white criteria first. Great. The criteria is more, the range. And then the chart white itself. And then we have USA range. USA range, you can go to the countries, column C. That's the house. USA range. And then you go and pick USA alone. USA alone. Then you enter like that. Ladies and gentlemen, you can see what this gentleman is getting there, 1618. So this is very, very beautiful. Very beautiful. I would have shown you something different, but my machine has let me down. We shall overcome. If you don't mind, in 5 minutes, will you allow me to talk about career progression after CPA? What you need to do next? I can see PC sharing his screen. Probably he wants to show us something. PC, do you want to show us Excel? In 5 minutes, would you want me to talk about career progression? Because what I had to show you really is my machine. My machine has refused. But PC wants to show us something. So click on Excel. We don't shut somebody out. These are my students who are doing this thing with me. PC, open your Excel first so they can share Excel directly. You can point on it. Yeah, they're telling me Mwalimu, as PC is struggling to share, Mwalimu talk about, no, PC, okay, great. So perhaps you can do one for us, any. Great. He wants to do the toughest, the one with 3 conditions. Can give him 2 minutes, equal some ifs, because there are many conditions. So we start with the sum range. Column D is the one that has got sales relevant to be summed. Criteria range, we start with February range. February, of course, range is B, the house. And then you go to February itself, the kid, comma. Now we are on the second one, which is chart white. You start with the house, chart white range, comma. And then now chart white itself, comma. Now we go to the USA range, the country range, the whole of that. And now the kid, who is USA, 1 person now. Close brackets if you so wish, and then you enter. It may not make sense right now, but I can tell you what this gentleman called PC is doing. He's doing a very good job. This one here one day will cost you. One day, this one will cost you an interview. Don't allow it to reach there. Ladies and gentlemen, with your permission, because of how my machine has misbehaved, I wanted to show you what we call horizontal lookup. But my machine has really misbehaved. I will beg to do just something very small about career progression. Like, how do you get to move after your CPA? Ladies and gentlemen, some of us, we are quite lucky because we got good mentorship. Got good mentorship from the word go. We are very lucky. And because of that, we are able to change jobs the way we wish. And we are able to get very good jobs that are able to give us, memberships to golf clubs, the very best, not some of these small, no. And yet we are accountants just like any other person. Why we got it right? It's because we got good mentors. Like myself, my mentor, who is still strong, very strong, but a bit elderly, Dr. McPhee of Strathmore. Great guy, really. Without him, I'm so sure today I would be too low. And that is the kind of skills that I would want to impart on you guys as we run RCM. So this guy told me, after CPA, you are just a local champion. A local champion that, for example, you may have done your primary from Kirinyaga school, primary school. You went to Kirinyaga High School. If there is Kirinyaga University there, then you marry from Kirinyaga. You see, you are a local champion, really. For you to be able to move very, very far, I don't want to tell you to marry from other tribes and to marry other races. What I want to imply, in terms of academia, you need international accolades. So as you do this particular CPA of yours, there are courses that I would want, or rather after I finish, there are courses I would want you always to have in your ticking boxes. You must tick a box called ACCA. ACCA is Association of Chartered Certified Accountants. It has got two levels. We have the fundamental level, we have the professional level. When you are a CPA, you'll be exempted from very many papers under ACCA. You simply need to explore this. I did ACCA, I can't regret, because ACCA will open so many doors for you. Especially if you don't have an undergraduate degree, ACCA is the better route for you to get an undergraduate degree from an Ivy League university called Oxford Brookes University. Big university. Big university. It's renowned globally. Big university. If you don't have an undergraduate, please go and Google, how do I get an undergraduate through ACCA? Nowadays, everything is at your fingertips, given AI skills, given AI, and then of course, given what here, this Googling thing, Uncle Google, very good, very good. Now, the other thing that I would want my students to always think about as you study, especially if you have an undergraduate, please, when you go to your master's, don't do anything finance, don't do anything accounting. Not unless already you are like the CEO or CFO of your company. Even if I was to be CFO of my company, given technology, I would not want, which kind of IFRS, new IFRS, will you learn at master's level that you have not learned at CPA? Trust you me, the CPA, IFRS, and whatever is up there. You cannot get that kind of analysis anywhere else. You can't get that kind of knowledge of accounting at master's level better than you got it at CPA. No. The moment I have my CPA and maybe my BCom down there, then that should be the end of my myself and accounting. Apart from, of course, the short courses, SAP, Excel with Dr. Aura here. Apart from these short courses, I will never ever advance anything to do with what here. Like, you get somebody going to University of Nairobi or whichever, and then they are doing MSc in finance. What are they studying there? Derivative. What are they studying there? Very technical mathematics. Knowing very well that maths, in most cases, those things are not applicable outside here. You will never get them outside here in like 100%. Like I've done derivatives myself up to postgraduate derivatives, but those things you will never, trust you me, you will never apply them. Let me guys ask you a simple question. Like now we taught you guys this thing, that if y equals 10x raised to power 5, dy over dx, dy over dx, dy over dx, then you come and drop the power down. You do what we call the NUX. So 5 times 10, that gives me 50. X raised to a reduced power, which will be 5 minus 1, which gives me, in this case here, 4. Very good. We call this one differentiation, but honestly speaking, is there anybody among us yourselves, including myself as your teacher, is there anybody you think gets to use these things at their workplace? Is there anybody who gets to use these things at their workplace? Please talk to me. Oh, Mwalimu, you like using Kirinyaga. I need to change that really. I need to change that really. No. And that is why I would want you guys to start changing trajectory. I would want to hear students who are going to the University of Nairobi not to do MSc Finance. No, 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 no. I would want students in this case here who are going to the University of Nairobi or whichever university, could be local or international, local or international, local or international, to do, in this case here, for example, MBA in project management. How is MBA in project management? How is project management at the workplace? Is there somebody who has exposure in this? Is there somebody who is exposed on this? Is there somebody who knows anything to do with project management? Somebody talk to me. Somebody talk to me. As a player for Maisha, is there somebody who knows anything about it? It's very common. Like where I work, and even where I used to work like last year, ladies and gentlemen, a PM, a project manager is a very senior person. You'll be surprised if you're given like, if it's the UN, you're given like this is the HIV and AIDS project, and you happen to be the project manager, and then you happen to be knowing like the impacts, etc., writing very good projects, reports, you can never go wrong. Coming up with budgets for projects, even government. If you're a project manager, for example, for a USAID project, you are up there. Accountants who go this route really succeed. But remember again, if it's PM alone, MBA PM alone, you can't go very, very far. We still need you to do this 6 months course. We need you to do this 6 months called known as a PMP. PMP, professional, or rather, it's project management professional. It's a US exam body. It's only 6 months. 6 months. So in this case, it will be able to take whatever you're doing. You know, this one we do it for research. We want you to know some research. All right. How do we write the thesis here? How do you do data collection? But you see now, this is very, very professional. These guys here will teach you, like, for example, how do you draw a Gantt chart? How do you track down, in this case here, your project activities? How do you utilize monitoring and evaluation, M&E? That one you should be able to get it under PMP. So the moment you do that, trust you me, again, you may not need any other thing. You may not need any other thing moving forward. All right. So in this case here, you've done your BCom, you've done, in this case here, your CPA, you've done MBA, for example, project management and PMP. Now from there, it will be about the short courses, like how do you utilize now AI in project management. All right. Your computer skills, like this Excel, now it will be short courses from this. So that you can now get time to do other things in life, like for example, wealth accumulation, looking for more kids are better, etc., and then you will be able to live a good life. But this thing of now you're running, you're doing PhD finance, you're looking for papers that you will never ever utilize. Everything that you do of PMP, you should be able to utilize it at your workplace every other day. Even in your own business, you need these PMP skills. Because most of the things we do, ladies and gentlemen, they're all about what you mean. There are many times we start with very good ideas, but we don't get to finish them. It's because we don't know that those ideas are part of what your projects. They simply need incubation, ideation, incubation, etc. So for me, I would want you guys to branch this way. Don't do lots of mathematics as you go up. No. Do courses that people will even tell you that you're not studying. Something like strategic management. All right. Even marketing, MBA marketing. If you're seasoned, like myself, I know how to market. If you're seasoned and then you do MBA marketing, it can take you to places you've never seen before. So up there, ladies and gentlemen, please do not do lots of mathematics. You'll come to thank me. Don't do lots of mathematics. Let me get some feedback from you guys. Let me get some feedback from you guys. No. Gabriel, that's a very good question. After CPA, you do a project management degree. Point of correction there. Number one, you'll not be able to enjoy so many exemptions. And then number two, look at how most jobs are structured. They'll tell you they want a BCom in finance, rather BCom, finance or accounting, and then they want the CPA. But up there, you can have any from whatever degree from any recognized. But for the base, in this case, you need that BCom and you need what we call CPA. And then, of course, we have what we call the Kenya National Framework Recognition. You guys must have heard about this. But now CPA is being equated to BCom. Now they are at the same level, CPA and BCom. All right. So that is very, very good, but it may take like 5 years, just like you've seen how KMTC now is advising the government. KMTC is telling the government, you must have seen that circular, that a higher national diploma is exactly the same as what here is exactly the same as a degree. And then they are telling the government to ensure that even when they are making promotions, etc., they consider these H&D people as what year degree holders. So we expect it's only that at times ISPAC slips here. ISPAC should have also risen to the occasion and even started looking now even for universities like KCA. Tell universities like KCA that anybody who has a CPA, you just come and show them a few research skills and give them a degree. Because I mean, if a national government agency has been able to say that this CPA and the BCom are the same, it should be like that. Just like in the UK, you not get somebody doing like ACC and then again they start doing a first degree. No, you go ACC, somebody goes same level. But that may take time. So if I were you, because I know that will take time, like 5 years, 10 years, I will do a BCom, preferably from, like now we have here KCA. They give you so many exemptions, those guys. 1.5 years, actually less than 1.5 years, you are out of the system. So you have your BCom like that. So now once you have your BCom, I would want this project management not to be your first thing. I've been able, where I work, I've been able to supervise project managers. I know project management also should come with experience. You should have cleared your CPA, you've cleared your degree, you have worked a little bit, at least you understand. So when you're doing your project management at master's level, at least you know even what is a project practically. You know the kind of reports. You even know how to talk, right? I don't want like the project management to be your first thing. No. Do BCom, do CPA, work a little bit, do MBA. Don't do MBA immediately you finish your degree. No. Do like 2 years outside, or even 3 years, and then you start doing your MBA. Unless you want to get into academia like ourselves. All right. Great questions are coming now. Great. Nancy is asking a very good question. What if I've done CPA account, or rather BCom accounting, and BCom accounting and CPA? Will I get more exemptions? Normally, what happens, if you're a member of ISPAC, and this you can find, you just need to go to ACCA. We call it www.acccaglobal.com. Attach your papers there. Apply for exemptions here. And then ACCA will be able to advise, because they look at when you did your CPA papers. You know, there are those guys who did CPA a long time ago. You can even get 1 exemption or 2 exemptions. But these ninjas who did their CPA the other day, they're getting like all these foundations level. And then they do the professional level. Now, somebody is asking, should I start with ACCA? You know, the only bad thing with ACCA is that it's very tough. You know, ACCA and CPA, you can't compare. ACCA is very tough. It's way there. Toughness also comes because you do those exams in a computer-based environment. So you're typing those financial statements, you're typing workings. So in Africa, it tends to defeat so many guys, especially guys who go for word go. But if you come from, you've done your CP and then you're going to ACCA, then you'll pass all your papers. The only thing that will be taught is the typing speed and a few things here and there, and then you're good to go. But if you go ACCA way, most guys have gone ACCA way and they fail. They come back to CPA, not because they're stupid. It's because also it needs you to be having some kind of experience. Some kind of experience. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, please listen as I get feedback from you, because I can now see you guys are asking very, very good questions as you do all this. There is something that I would want us to start thinking about so seriously. I always encounter this, like the other day we were doing interviews at my workplace. These things, students are really taking it jokingly, lightly. But I can assure you, even if you're going to be a great project manager, it doesn't matter how great you are of a project manager, how great you are of an accountant. If your public speaking skills are down there, you are a local champion. If your public speaking skills are down there, you will not be able to rise to any occasion. You'll be going to your workplaces every morning. As you start seeing your bosses, you start sweating, which is a very unfortunate thing. We should be going to our workplaces every morning. I mean, looking forward to greater things, happy, smiling throughout. But once in this case here, we know that today is a day of presentations, even where you are sleeping, I mean, you're sweating at night. Is there anybody who is able to relate with what I'm talking about here? Is there anybody who is able to relate with what I'm talking about here at their workplaces? Please be very honest with me. Is there anybody who is able to relate with what I'm talking about? Thank you so much. At least I can see students who are honest here. Yeah, you can get all those papers. But once you hear that you're working for an audit firm and your audit director is not available, and this guy is sending you to go and stand before just 30 executives to advise. And then it tells that, you know what, today is Friday. That talk will be on Monday at 11. I'm telling you, there are people, if they're given that kind of an assignment, you would rather give them even a punishment of doing, in this case, excavation of even a whole acre in a day, rather than giving them that kind of an assignment. I'm telling you, that weekend, there are people who will not even sleep. They start feeling that their tongues are heavy from the time they're given that assignment. Ladies and gentlemen, I would want us to change focus. I would want, and these are my prayers every day. I pray as you guys are going outside there to get on serious business as here to work out there, people should be able to know that these are students coming from RCM because of their unique communication skills. And that is why this time around, I hope there will be great ninjas who will be able to support me. It doesn't have to be even a club run by any of the teachers. It can be run by students purely. This concept of public speaking, we must take it to a notch higher. And you see, the worst bit of it is that all of us tend to wait until that time when you will be able to face embarrassment head on. Because they get people using Kiswahili throughout, and they know for sure, as finance reporters, we shall be required to stand before not one or two, not even the 30 I've spoken about. Very soon you will get yourself standing in front of 3,000 people. You think that they would even want to swallow you. No. If you're a good public speaker, and remember, public speaking is not even about fluency. It's more to do with what? Yeah, confidence. And those are the kind of things that I would want really planted in you guys as you get outside there. If you have good qualifications, and then you have, in this case here, public speaking being the icing on the cake, you will come to thank me. One day, you will buy this Mwalimu, a big Mercedes-Benz, big. I like my dome, big, like this black. Put it outside here. Tell me, Mwalimu, you told me this, and now I'm an international speaker. I'm able to basically talk about this and this and this and this and this and this and this concept. And they are very easy tools that we can use. And these are things that we need to really assist our students with. So I don't want to talk so much. I'm so sure this is quite late. If you don't mind, I'll be able to, of course, keep this register of inquiries that you guys have. And then if you don't mind, we should be able to organize this kind of an event. I never knew that you guys would be having this kind of great questions. I mean, you've been dying with such kind of great questions, really. And we're here. All right. Is it ACCA first or CPA first? CPA first, ACCA later, that I've told you. And many other questions that I'm saying there. If you don't mind, because I have a 5 a.m. morning class, I would want to rest. And of course, my love for you great guys grows by the time as you are further in the industry. And of course, it does also that because you're getting out of your way to promote RCM. Like right now, the kind of inquiries you're getting across, guys who want to come and join RCM, I mean, is at another level. So thank you very much for that. In case of anybody who would want to join us, either from the group or of course, your friends, don't give them my personal number because they can't get me. Like now when I'm hammering these serious points here, I can't pick anybody's call. Otherwise, it will be disastrous if I start running out. No. Give them the school's number here, 0719 525,000. And of course, I know there are those ninjas who are following me through Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. Don't forget to hit subscription. Don't forget to hit, in this case here, follow. Give me a thumbs up emoji, smiling emojis. Good night to everybody. See you tomorrow. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye.